Hey, it's your old pal Fernbark, and today we're going to do an old-fashioned LED light fight. On my right, this is the Milwaukee 2130 rocket stand or tower light, and on my left is the 2120 rocket light. And it's kind of weird that this has got the lower model number because this is brand new, and this one's been out for a while. Right now, this has got a street price of about $200. This one is $600, and we're going to see if this is worth the extra $400. One of the big differences between the two models is that the newer model is completely waterproof. The batteries are stored inside of a waterproof compartment, and it will hold two batteries, and you can go up to as big as the 9 amp hour batteries in here. In fact, if you get it with the kit, it comes with two 9 amp hour batteries. The older model just holds one battery, and you can put up to the 9 amp hour battery in there. And this is not waterproof, it is water resistant. The major difference between the two models is that the older unit has a maximum brightness of 2,000 lumens. The maximum brightness on the new unit is 5,400 lumens. Its lowest setting is 1,600 lumens, so even at its lowest light setting, it's almost as bright as the older unit is on its brightest setting. You get pretty good range of motion with both of the heads on these. This one will turn this far in both directions. It doesn't, well, yeah, it does. You can swivel it like this, and it goes around almost the whole way. This guy, the only thing that I really don't like about this is as far down as it will angle. So if you want to illuminate the ground, you kind of have to back it up a little bit. Whereas this guy, you can actually pivot this arm forward and then tip this down so you get light straight up and down. But this has got pretty good range of motion, and then you can easily spin it to whatever direction you want. A big upgrade in the new model versus the old model is the control panel for the new model allows you to turn it on and off and adjust the brightness settings separately. It also has the one-key Bluetooth feature, so you can even get into some finer lighting controls. This is a huge advantage over the older model. The older model has just one button control, and it turns it on, and then you guys cycle through all the different brightness settings to get back to off. So that is really kind of a pain in the butt. It's pretty easy to deploy and then make smaller again, or store. I think this one is actually a little bit easier, mainly because it's got much better balance to the unit. So to put it back into a storage position, oops, I got to open that cam up. It just fits in there real easily, and then you just press this button and the legs, and now you're done. This one is a little trickier because it's really heavy on one side, and so it just takes a little more thinking about what you're doing when you're getting ready to store it. I'm going to close this up, sorry. But basically, there's just buttons on the sides here. This part is actually quite a bit smoother. I say that as I struggle with this thing. Here we go. And then you just lift this part up right here, and it rocks back into its storage position. One thing that is nice about this unit that you don't get with the other one is you can also make the arm come out at an angle like this, and then you can have it kind of hang out over the top of your work area. But let's get back to putting this back into the storage. And then to get the legs back in, there's a button right here, and they just snap right back. The nice thing about this unit is it's much smaller when it's all folded back together. I'm going to guess that this probably would fit inside the compartment of a service truck, so you can put it in there and lock it up because you don't want someone taking this from you. Folded up flat, the model 2120 has a much smaller storage shape to it than the model 2130. Weight-wise, this is actually quite a bit lighter than this model is right here. This guy, when you load it up with batteries, is about 24 pounds, and this one weighs in closer to the 14-15 pound range, depending on which battery you got in it. This is the Milwaukee rocket light, and you can tell it's just not quite tall enough to get over the top of my truck. It lights up the top pretty good, but if you had to get down inside there, I think there's going to be some shadows. The height of the tower light gives a pretty big advantage in this situation because you can peer right into the bay of the car and you get light down deeper, I think quite a bit better than the other light. It's unfortunate that this piece right here, this is as far as it angles down, so you can't get it go straight down like you can with the rocket light. I'm going to do some distance testing. I have the rocket light on low, and then the back end of that blazer is about 30 feet away, and the base of a tree you can't quite see is probably 80 to 90 feet away, and the light is currently on the low setting, and I'm going to go ahead and bump it up. That's medium. And that's high. Now what's interesting is the width of the light that thing is able to put out. Alright, let's... This is the low setting. High. And medium. So this is the tower light on high. That's the tower light on medium. And that's the tower light on low. Now I'm going to switch over to the rocket light. And that's the rocket light on high. On medium. And that's the rocket on low. And just for fun, even though nobody asked for it, I thought I'd throw in the radius light. That's 4,000 lumens. Well, after playing with these for about 3 weeks, I'd have to say I don't really think that this light is worth 3 times the price of this one. I really enjoy the controls on it a lot better, but for most of the stuff that I do, this light is plenty bright, and at $200 it represents a much better value over this one. I would say this is probably worth, I mean, if they were selling this for $300, then I would say, yeah, this would be the better light, but at $600, it's a little tough. I don't really need that extra brightness. As far as runtime goes, I ran this on a pair of 9 amp hour batteries, and on the high setting it went for about 6.5 hours. This one went for 6 hours on one 9 amp hour battery. So you get pretty comparable run times with a 9 amp hour battery. A lot of it's going to depend on, do you really need that extra brightness? If you have a job where you just really need that pounding brightness, this thing is just unbelievable. It also folds up so much smaller, so if storage was a consideration, that's going to really do it for you. And maybe you like the fact you can lock the light with the one key feature. That's not even a possibility with this. But I would say, really for me, at the price and what I do, this works out better for me. But I could see where if you had the budget and the need for that kind of brightness, this is a tough one to beat. So anyhow, hope that helped you guys out.